So XRP just caught fire and institutions are piling in. Agri-tech giants are creating XRP treasuries. And now Trump's Genius Act is setting a stage for some explosive adoption, right? It's like, wow, everyone's going to have crypto. So can XRP really hit $5, even $10? I mean, we're going to break it all down in this video. We're going to use some technical analysis. I mean, we're going to try to not get all like rizzed up by news, but at the time of this recording, XRP is trading at $3.22 with some wild swings throughout the day. And these swings I actually talked about in yesterday's video, guys. If you've watched this video, you would know that this analysis here is the absolute truth. I'm not going to go ahead and lather you up in baby oil and just give you a whole, never mind. You get what I'm saying here, right? Anyways, no confirmation bias here. We're going to give you the truth. It looks good. I'm going to tell you it looks good. If it looks bad, I'm going to tell you it looks bad, right? But it has been holding strong over 4.5% gains this week. So that's a good thing. And traders and analysts are now projecting a short-term move to $5 and possibly a more shot to 10. So let's talk about the $5 really quickly. I'm going to show you how that $5 can happen, how the $6 can happen. And then the $10, man, that's real aggressive, right? But if the current trend continues, I mean, like, listen, guys, who knows, right? This is crypto. Crypto is fueled by emotions and enthusiasm, right? And now that we have institutional order flow, yeah, things get really, really interesting now. It's a blessing and a curse with institutional order flow, right? Because we do get that push, but then we can also get the manipulation, right? So guys, I just want you to be safe, be careful. If you're profitable, make sure you go ahead and lock in some gains, maybe even reposition, and or if you're just going to hold and hold, well, then go ahead and hold and hold. But in the past 24 hours, several major analysts and well trackers reported institutional accumulation. So these guys
Yeah.
are coming in, right? They're watching what Bitcoin and Ethereum did, and they want in early on the next big reserve asset. So there were many, many, many potential reserve assets, right? In fact, this narrative just seems very trite. It's a narrative that we've heard, for almost every other breakout coin, including Doge, right? But it's no longer just about BTC and ETH, right? Or Ethereum. XRP is entering a corporate treasury conversation. So Nature's Miracle is a publicly traded agri-tech firm, and it just announced it will hold about $20 million worth of XRP as part of a strategic reserve. Now, $20 million is really not that much when you think about it, but, hey, 20, 30, 40, 50% returns or something like that turns 20 million into 10 million. You just really got to think about that. And when we look at the legs up on XRP on the chart, that almost seems like a smart move, right? Now, this just isn't talk. They're funding it with equity proceeds from GHS investments, and they plan to grow that position over time through placements and financing. So it's all talk right now, but we'll see if the bullshit works because money's money. And you can't trust these guys, right? Because their job is to make money. Now, the move puts them ahead of the curve, joining a small but growing list, public companies that are diversifying into XRP, right? But what makes it so powerful? What makes this diversification in these companies coming in into XRP? Now, Nature's Miracle isn't just holding XRP. They're looking into staking, leveraging, and growth, and riding the price wave. If we're to believe that, then we have to think of it like what MicroStrategy did for Bitcoin, but this time XRP is the play. Now, this puts pressure on other companies to consider XRP as a hedge or a growth asset. It does and it doesn't, right? But I mean, again, we're going to be optimistic here, right? Now, they're not alone here because Metaplanet and H100 and others have all acquired significant crypto reserves in 2025, mostly in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But SharpLink just added to 80,000 Ethereum, taking its total to over 360,000 Ethereum. But with XRP now making headlines, the rotation into altcoins may have just begun. We may begin to see that rotation. So why XRP? And it's going to be simple. It's the speed and cost. It's built for cross-border payments, and banks love that. And so do money launderers. Major institutions like Banco Santander and American Express already work with XRP Tech. And James Lee, CEO of Nature's Miracle, said it best. We see huge potential in XRP. It cuts costs, increases speed, and fits with the global strategy. That's a clear endorsement from a Wall Street player. Got to be careful with Wall Street players, right? And then, of course, we got the Genius Act, right? And the act is alive and well. And President Trump just recently signed a historic bill giving legal clarity to stablecoins and crypto banks. Crypto banks. Imagine that. So what does that matter for XRP? Because banks now have a green light to explore crypto settlements, and XRP is built for that exact purpose. And the adoption just got a rocket booster, right? So I want you guys to go ahead and watch yesterday's video, my first video, right? We had an analysis on XRP after the run and the things to watch for, the levels to watch for, the retracements to watch for, and we actually hit every single, basically forecast, every single one. No, it's here. Check it out, guys. Come on. Right. And when you see it for yourself, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Okay. So here we're going to go. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the chart here and we can see again, we talk about fits and starts. This is XRP consolidation and then big moves, right? And then we get some consolidation in a much larger range. And then we get a nice, decent move, right? Now, guys, listen, consolidation is not a bad thing. And in fact, when we talk about a move to 5, but I would want to see is some consolidation, right? Sort of kind of it, like building up some force, right? Springing nice and tight before it just moons, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. You see, nice run. If we measure this initial run here from 56 cents to about 282, this is going to be a 522% run. And then we bring it all the way up here. And this is a 565% run. This is all the way from 54 cents, right? So this is a rather impressive run. Now, from where it currently stands at 314, you only really need um, about 125, 150% run to see the $5, $6, right? Now, what we're going to do is we are going to use the good old Fibonacci here. Okay, so we're going to use Fibonacci trend. And what we're going to do is we're going to do swing low, and then we're going to go to recent swing high, and then we're going to bring this down to the retracement. Let's just put it right there. And what we can see using that swing low and swing high, we can see where $5.04 is in the zone. We extend a little further to 556 and then 623. And then of course you start getting to, the eights, the tens, and the 11s, right? But that's neither here or there. Let's focus on um, sooner, more immediate price action, right? Which I would like to see after consolidation, guys, because when we run, you don't have anything to fall back on and it's not stable, right? So what we're seeing with XRP is it ran here, it stabilized itself here, right? And then ran here and catching its breath. This is where I like to see it catch its breath. And so what we now have is we have some bullish momentum here on the daily. Let's take a closer peek as to what's happening here on the 4 hour. Now the 4 hours giving us, excuse me, bearish vibes, right? You see here when things turn green, we're bullish, and when things turn red, we're bearish. But this could be the consolidation area of which we talk about, which you guys could see right here. It does it quite often. It doesn't necessarily just fall flat on its face, right? It consolidates in a range. So are we going to maintain that upward trajectory? I would imagine so, but this requires individuals to have the same conviction and the same enthusiasm, and of course, buy XRP up and create that buying pressure. And of course, we could see it go to the moon. And so, yeah, I mean, $6, $7, absolutely no bullshit. This is not pie in the sky stuff. This could very well be the case. So if you're in, you're holding, good for you. If you want to trade the volatilities, guys, you have to know the ebbs and flows of this coin here, right? You got to learn the ebbs and flows. And for traders, this seems to be a very easy crypto to hold, right? I mean, we could go ahead and let's look at Doge and what Doge is doing. Let's see here, Dogecoin. And this is major difference, right? This is major difference in Doge. There's no real stability in this. This is one hell of a ride and a whole lot of drugs, boys and girls. Whole lot of drugs to hold on to this baby. That's the difference. Okay, so I like what's going on over at XRP. Anyways, guys, I'm signing out. That's my breakdown. Yeah, go ahead and check us out at trade1348.com too. Right. And then Moneymaker. I love that guy. He's using our church too. Awesome stuff. Signing out, guys. Peace.